All right, good evening, traders. Today is May 28th, 2024. My name is John Carrigan. I moderate the BYOB Trading Room. I want to thank everybody for being here. Those of you that are in the room with us right now and everybody out there in digital land, and I'm talking about the YouTube and Facebook and all of those. Thank you for being here. Okay, so tonight's webinar, it's a little webinar on reversals are happening at Anchored VWAP. That's AVWAP, Anchored VWAP. All right, VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. Now they're happening like almost like clockwork. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about AVWAP, and we'll talk about a few other things too. First, we'll start off with, my name is John Carrigan. This is my email address, BYOBtrading.com, john@BYOBtrading.com. Okay, so if you want a copy of tonight's PowerPoint, I will send it to you. Just send me an email, ask for it, and I will send it off in the mail. I'm pretty good at it. I usually get it out within probably 5 to 6 hours, okay? This is my YouTube channel right here, all right? And there's a lot of good content on there. If you like what you hear tonight, feel free to log on to my YouTube channel and subscribe. I also have included it up here. If you look in the room and you scroll up, I've got my YouTube right here and my Facebook just above it, so you can see that. If you're welcome, all are welcome to join my Facebook and my YouTube. All right, so again, thank you for being here. All right, I believe your time is valuable. This webinar is being recorded, okay, so it's going to be on my YouTube channel. All right, and the PowerPoint presentation, like I just said, is available. All you got to do is email me. All right, you don't have to just say, hi, can I have a copy of the PowerPoint? You know, you can say nice comments if you want to. I don't care, either way. But and then I'll mail it out to you, all right? And it usually comes pretty fast, okay? So before we get started, let's talk about the disclaimer, all right? All right, trading involves risk. It's not suitable for everyone. You should test any of these strategies or education content that we share with you tonight. Again, we're just sharing with you. I'm just sharing with you what I do that works for me, okay? That's all I'm doing, just sharing. I'm not telling you how to trade, not telling you where to enter, not telling you where to exit, all right? All of this stuff, you're advised to test any new approach before implementing it. Again, past performance does not guarantee future results. Hey, good evening, Brad. So, bottom line, you got to do your own due diligence, okay? So, what do I like trading? I like trading a 10-minute chart, okay? I like starting my bullish entries, all right? When I see green candles erase red candles, okay? My favorite chart is a 10-minute uptrend. This is my flagship trade. A 10-minute uptrend inside a 2-hour uptrend, okay? That's my flagship trade. It's that right in a nutshell. All right, soon as the green candles erase the red candles, that's my entry. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Okay, same with downtrends. Okay, I like trading a 10-minute chart. All right, I like trading the 10-minute downtrend that's also inside of a 2-hour downtrend. So I like to find a 10-minute downtrend inside the 2-hour downtrend. And when I see red candles erase green candles, that's my entry. Hey, good evening, Ed Haven. So that's it. Those are my two. That's my flagship trade right there. This one, all right, the bullish one, all right, when I see my entry, green erases red, and the bearish one, see, bearish, when red erases green candles, all right? I like to trade SPY options because they're highly liquid. I certainly will, Gordon. Yes, yes. Are you new? Are you new, Gordon? If you are, congratulations. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. Yes, I will definitely give you some examples. We're going to get to that. I'm going to have some charts in just about 5 or 6 minutes here. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe 10. All right. And here it is again. I like trading the 10-minute uptrend inside the 2-hour uptrend. All right, next slide. I like trading the 10-minute downtrend, like I just said before, inside the 2-hour downtrend. Okay, so we're talking about tonight is on volume weighted average price. It's called VWAP. All right, it's a moving average. All right, and it's a moving average that's used in technical analysis of the securities average price over a trading period of time. Now, VWAP starts brand new at the beginning of every day, okay? And but the difference is anchored VWAP starts from wherever you anchor it, all right? And I'm going to show you examples of that. So what is VWAP? VWAP's volume weighted average price. It's the average price shares traded at from the beginning of the day, okay? So you take a share and it sells for, or it trades for $500, right? And the next share trades for $501, okay? $501. So the average, so the VWAP will be at $500.50, okay? So that's VWAP, and it continues to average out as the day goes on, as more and more shares trade throughout the day. Okay, so now what is anchored VWAP? Anchored VWAP is the average price shares traded at from the place in time where it is anchored. Okay, so there's a big difference. Okay, because VWAP starts brand new every day, whereas anchored VWAP can be anchored 2 days back, 3 days back, 3 years back, 3 months back, 3 weeks back. You just can't anchor it into the future because there's no price to anchor it on. But you can anchor VWAP anytime in the past on any one of those candles from the past. Again, it's going to act like a moving average, okay? Now, anchored VWAP can be used on any time frame. You can use it on the weekly, on the monthly, on the daily, on the 5-minute chart, on the 15-minute chart, on the 3-bar chart. You can use anchored VWAP on any time frame. All right, anchored VWAP makes it easy to see if buyers or sellers are in control, okay? We're going to go through that in just a second, okay? Anchored VWAP allows us to see the direction of the money flow, all right? Trade the same direction as the anchored VWAP's direction, all right? So where should I place my anchored VWAPs? I like to place them at the beginning of the previous day, at previous highs, previous lows, all-time highs, all-time lows, yearly highs, yearly lows, at the last lower or higher high, and the last lower or higher low on the daily chart, on the 10-minute candle before the FOMC announcements, and on the 10-minute candle before earnings statements or earnings announcements. Okay, so how do I interpret the price action in relation to the anchored VWAPs? If the price action is moving up and away from the anchored VWAP, and I'm talking about the anchored VWAP that was planted on the prior day's opening 10-minute candle, okay, then money would be flowing into the market, and it would favor the bulls. Okay, so if I take my anchored VWAP and I plan it on Friday's opening 10-minute candle and price is running up over it, that would favor the bulls. If price action is moving down and away from the anchored VWAP that was planted on the previous day's opening candle. That would be, and it's moving down, and money, that would equal money is moving out of the market, and that would favor the bears. So that's how I interpret the price. All right, so just to start off, I'm going to point out this gold line right here, okay, it gets jerky, all right, because it starts brand new every day. Okay, notice how it jerks. See how price gaps up? Well, the line jerks up from where it is, from where it left off the previous day. And that's why VWAP tends to get jerky sometimes, and that's because price action, there's not enough candles or not enough shares traded on the first hour or the first hour and a half for VWAP to really get established, all right? So that's why I like to use my anchored VWAP where I plant it on the first candle of the previous day. So I would plant it, see this green candle? That's the first candle of the previous day. That's where I plant one, all right? See this day right here? This green candle right after the white line, okay? That would be the first candle where it gaps up. That's where I like to plant my anchored VWAP, right there, right there, right here. See the red candle that gapped down? Right there, okay? And that helps me to determine whether money is flowing into the market or money is leaving the market, okay? So that's the most important thing, all right? Because you want to buy, I like to buy alongside of the institutions. When they're buying, I want to be buying. When they're selling, I want to be selling, all right? So, and I can't get the market to move, but these institutions, they've got so much capital and so much leverage, they get to move the market, and I'm just along for the ride. But the important part of trading is to be alongside of them and move in the same direction that they're moving at the time that they're moving in that direction. Okay? So that's exactly what I'm looking to do. All right? I want to move with the institutions. All right? So now here, this pink line right here, this pink line represents the prior day's opening anchored VWAP. Okay, so now you see price. Okay, here's the pink line. Now you see price enter a 10-minute, we're on a 10-minute chart right there. Okay, you see price rip up and away over the anchored VWAP moving average. Okay, notice it was nothing but chop on the previous day. Okay, this is January 8th, so this would be January 5th. Okay, so you notice price goes up and it comes back down under VWAP, and then it comes back up to VWAP and gets sent back down, and then it starts a 10-minute uptrend just underneath before the day ends right there. They start right in the last second or the last minute. They start a 10-minute uptrend, and you can see the yellow line, which is the 3 EMA, crossing the gray line, which is the 8 EMA, okay? So you see the 3 crossing over the 8, all right? So there's your cross, and now they are starting that 10-minute uptrend. But I like that 10-minute uptrend when it's on top of the anchored VWAP, all right? And I want to see that trend. I want to see price action run away to the upside, up, and away from anchored VWAP. So here's the pink line. I anchor it on the day before. Here's the uptrend. Here's green right here, erases red. All right? Who's the one that wanted an example? Gordon, right? Here you go, Gordon, right here. Green, see this red candle? Green erases red right there. Okay, that's an entry. It's not a doji candle. It's not a topping tail candle. That's a good candle for me. Okay, I don't like to buy topping tail candles, and I don't like to buy doji candles. Doji candles say to me indecision. All right, topping tail candles say to me, especially in a bullish trend, okay, they say to me that the bulls did not win that 10-minute segment. Okay, so if the bulls didn't win it, do I really want to be buying it? Okay, that's what you got to ask yourself. If the bulls didn't win that 10-minute segment, do I really want to buy that 10-minute segment? Okay, and you might have to wait for the next one, all right? Or a couple more green candles to form, all right? So here's green erases red, all right? Okay, now we're getting into 1 o'clock, Gordon, all right? Here's green erases red. Notice this trend is still running. Okay? Notice this day also qualified for a trend day because here's 11 o'clock right here. And then here's 12 o'clock right here. And I'll bet price action stayed up over VWAP. That means on the 10-minute chart, price, the 3 and the 8, stayed above VWAP the whole time between 11 and noon. And that qualifies for a trend day. And you can see the market just went up all day long. Okay? From the first candle to the last candle. You see the green, they call them trend indicators, the 17 EMA right here. Okay, I don't have a line. Instead, I have dots. Okay, these green dots represent the 17 EMA. Notice every one of these green dots from the beginning of the day to the end of the day is green. We were bullish all day. All right, not just half the day, the whole day. Notice we ended the day at the high of the day. Okay? That's typically what a trend day will give you. It will just go up all day. Don't even think about shorting it. All right? Just take profit if you want to. Otherwise, pretty much just wait for that bearish engulfing candle like right here. Right? There would be a bearish engulfing. That's your clue to get out right there. Okay, but here's your entry. Green erases red. Okay, green erases red. Now after 2:30, okay, you got to start questioning yourself, all right? Do you really want to start taking green erases red after the market's been going up, okay, for the last 4.5 hours? All right, you got to really think about that. Do you want to take green erases red? Do you want to take it with maybe just a half a position? Okay? Maybe it's not worth it to take it for a full position, all right? All right, we're getting near the end of the day. Okay? Is it worth it to go full position when green erases red after 2:30, and that 2:30 is typically a reversal time? Where is the topping tail? I don't have a topping tail here, Carol, but I can show you a topping tail. It's a candle that, where the body of the candle is, well, let me just draw one in right here real quick. Let me make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so here's the body of the candle. All right, and then the topping tail would be this thing coming off the top. Okay, that's a topping tail candle. All right, see how it's solid here, and the top half is there's more wick on the top than there is body and tail on the bottom. Okay, that's a topping tail candle or a topping wick candle. All right, does that make sense? I don't have a topping tail candle on this chart. Yeah, okay. You notice you got a candle that's got more wick than it does body and tail. What does that tell you? It tells you like the bears own that 10-minute candle, right? Because the bulls couldn't even get it past. They couldn't even win over 50% of it. Okay, so that's why. You use Heikin-Ashi. Yeah, you probably won't see them if you're using Heikin-Ashi. All right, so green erases red right here. There's an entry. Green erases red. There's an entry right there. Okay? It's at the end of the day. You got to really think this. Okay? Green erases red. Do you really want to buy that candle after 2:30? You got to rethink this. Okay? Maybe you want to buy it. Maybe you just take a half a position or a quarter position, okay? Because the day's coming to an end and you've been going up all day. Really think that through, whether you want to take it after 2:30. You only got an hour and a half of trading left. Whether you want to take a full position when green erases red after 2:30. All right? So that's just something to think about. It's kind of like one of my unsaid rules that I thought I would mention. It's getting after 2:30. I'm a day trader. I like to wrap up my day, kind of leave things in the plus column. Do I really want to be taking chances here after 2:30? All right, so there's something to think about right there. So there it is. Price action running up, and away from the pink line. Okay, and which way is the pink line pointed? It's slanted to the upside, okay? So I want to be bullish, all right? I want to be bullish because price is moving up and away over the anchored VWAP, all right? So now let's talk about, I'm going to drag a chart in here real quick, and that didn't do it. Okay, we're going to drag this chart down in here. Okay, we're going to blow this up. Okay, this is the SPY. This is my favorite one to trade. Okay, now you notice this day right here on the 23rd, that's Thursday, that was an all-time high. So I like to put an anchored VWAP on that all-time high. Right there, okay? Now, I know I got a lot of lines on here. Let me just delete a couple of them because they're not relevant yet. We're going to go back to them in just a few minutes so you can see how they perform, all right? And now I just want you to focus on this one right here, this pink line right there. Actually, I'm going to color it. I'm going to color it different, just a little bit different so you can see it, see it's different. Okay, so this is the blue line right here. This is the all-time high anchored VWAP, okay? Now, when I see institutions, all right, are pushing price up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that tells me that they're willing to pay better than average for the security or the indice at the present state and time. Okay, when I see price rising up or consolidating, it could be rising up or it could be consolidating over the all-time high anchored VWAP. What does that say to you? It says institutions are willing to pay more than the average price. Okay, that tells me money is flowing into the market, all right? Money's flowing in if they're willing to pay more than the average price of the all-time high, all right? That's all. There's no two things. There's no other way to interpret that, okay? There's no other way, all right? If they're willing to pay more than the average, all right, that means money has to flow into the market, okay? So I planted one up here on the all-time high, That happened on Thursday, the 23rd. And I planted one on the low, okay, on the 23rd as well, because we had a move down and then a sharp move to the downside right here. So I planted one down here as well. All right, so when price action took off this morning, okay, let's just look at this morning. Here's regular VWAP, but here's the anchored VWAP off the all-time high. Because it only happened a few days ago, I really don't need to move this up to the previous day's open right there. I can just use that one, all right? I can just use the blue one, all right? And I'm looking for price to move up, up, and away, okay? But notice it moves up. See the green dots on the 10-minute chart. But the problem is it got caught right here in the ceiling again. Right there, okay, 530. All right, see, notice it never got over 530. Okay, so there was resistance there. We went up. We never got over it, okay? So they went up there once, twice, three, four times this morning. They went up there to tackle that. Then they came down, all right? And if you notice, where did they come down to? Here's the low side anchored VWAP. And what did they do? They spiked it here, and then this is your rubber band candle. Okay, here's the spike candle, and then this is the rubber band candle. And the rubber band candle uses the energy in a rubber band when you push on it between your index finger and your thumb. You push on that rubber band. Well, if you take your finger off, it goes back into place where it's straight across, and it slings price. It's like a slingshot. You pull it back, and then it slings price right back up there. Okay, so you see what happened? It's a rubber band. It had a rubber band effect. You had a spike, and then this is the rubber band candle. Had we broken this candle right here on a 10 or the 15-minute chart, I would have to be bearish, okay? If we broke the rubber band candle, and that's this candle right here. Some of you might be your first time here. That's the rubber. You got the spike, and then you get one free-floating candle that's not attached to the anchored VWAP. Okay, you see it? It's not attached. It's the rubber. It's the next candle that's free floating afterwards. Okay, that's the rubber band candle. You break, and most all of the time, believe it or not, that rubber band candle is never a small candle. All right, it's never like one of these right here. Okay, it's always big. All right. Most all the time, it's always big. All right. See, like here's one right here. There's a rubber band candle to the upside right there. Notice it's not a little small candle. It's usually always a good size. It's either a medium or a large candle most of the time. Okay, so here's the rubber band and the energy from the rubber band, like a slingshot, you pull it back and then it slings price back up to where it was before. Okay, so here's price. Price comes down, fails to make the higher high, and then hits what? Okay, because we were talking about anchored VWAP and how price hits the anchored VWAP and reverses. All right? So here's price, fails to make the higher high, comes down, hits the anchored VWAP, and does what? It reverses. Okay? Same thing again. Fails to make the higher high, comes back down, hits the anchored VWAP again, and then does what? It reverses. Okay? That was the title of today's webinar. Comes down, and then it reverses, okay? Market's bullish, all right? If you don't know it, SPY, I'm just going to go to the daily chart. I don't know. Some of you get to hear my evening wrap up or my morning monologue. Okay, so SPY, okay, I call them the Fab Five, all right? SPY is number one, all right? Higher low, higher high, that's bullish. You got price is on top of the 3 is on top of the 8, the 3 of them, all 3. Price, the 3, the 8, all on top of a rising 17. That's bullish. Okay, so that's in an uptrend. Okay, here comes the next one of the Fab Five. QQQ. Okay, QQQ. Same thing going on here. All right, you got price, 3, 8, all on top of the rising 17. QQQ, bullish. All right, FNGU. All right, price, 3, 8, all on top of a rising 17. Bullish. Okay, those are the first 3 of the Fab Five. All right, next one, IWM. Okay, now IWM, not quite as pretty as the other 3. All right, but, higher low, higher high, it's in an uptrend. It's in an uptrend till it breaks this low right here. Okay, right here. Right there, that low right there. Breaks below that low, then we're probably in a downtrend right there. Okay, break below that low. All right, we're in a pullback right now, but this is bullish. All right, this is an uptrend. Okay, higher low, higher high, it's in an uptrend. Okay, so IWM, there's 4 of the Fab Five. Okay, last one doesn't look pretty either. Okay, this one's going to be bullish till it breaks this low right here. Okay, it's got a little ways to go. All right, and it's rolling over hard. I gotta admit it, but it's still bullish because we got a higher low and a higher high. All right, so this is in an uptrend. So all of the Fab Five are in uptrends. Okay, now the 3 favorite sectors that run the Fab Five are the XLF. All right, higher low, higher high. It's also in an uptrend. All right, and then we got the SMH, semiconductors, brand new all-time high today, right there. That's in an uptrend. Okay, now the last one stinks up the joint. All right, IYT, okay, is in a downtrend. Okay, this is the only one that's in a downtrend right now, is the IYT. All right, other than that, okay, and as far as economic news coming out, all right, you look at the calendar for this week. We got, what do we got? We got, what am I thinking of? I already know what it is, but I can't think of it right off my head. Here we go. I'm going to pull this up, see if I can find it real quick. GDP, that's what it is, GDP. Okay, gross domestic product, all right? And the big thing that affects gross domestic product is the dollar, all right? And the dollar's been bearish, all right? And the dollar's actually been bearish for the last 30 days. So I don't expect GDP to hurt us this week. So as far as the bulls go, all right, there's no big earnings to mess up, okay? There's no big earnings that are going to be reported, okay? The bulls have clear blue sky all the way to 550, and I think they want 550. I don't know if they want 550, but I think they do, okay? So they got clear blue sky with no earnings to really muck up the scene, all right? The only one that's really stinking up the place is the IYT, all right? That's it. They've got, NVIDIA is like off to the races, all right? You see NVIDIA, all right? Nothing bearish about that, right? NVIDIA is off to the races, probably going to 1,500. Who knows, all right? Okay, so NVIDIA is off to the races. FNGU, all right, on the daily chart. Wrong one. Okay, this is the mega large caps. These are the ones that control the market, all right? It doesn't matter what the other 480 stocks are doing in the SPY. If these 10 or these top 20 are moving in the upward direction, they'll drag the other 480 kicking and screaming up with them, whether they like it or not. Okay, so FNGU is bullish on the daily chart. Okay, this is the all-time high. Well, excuse me, that's a 2-year high, and we closed darn near the 2-year high this morning. Okay, not to mention we're consolidating in the SPY, okay, in a big bull flag right here. Okay, so there's nothing to stop us from going to 550 except for the dollar, all right? And the dollar's been weak. GDP's coming out, and I think that's going to look good. I don't see any issues with that. CPI and FOMC coming out the 12th. That's next week. They got clear skies to get to 550 before the 12th, okay? If they want to do it. And I think they want to do it because what I'm looking at is price is higher than the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right? You see what I'm seeing now? Does it all make sense? All right, price is higher than the all-time high anchored VWAP. Money is flowing into the market. Okay? Money's coming in. All right? All we need is that 10-minute trend ripping up and away from that all-time high anchored VWAP planted right there. The VIX is popping. And I don't like that. I didn't really want to hear that, Trader X, but it is what it is, okay? VIX is popping. All I want to say is, okay, price went up, and it's consolidating in a bull flag, all right? It's moved up, and it's consolidating in a bull flag over here to the right, okay? Let's look at what happened recently. Price came down, and the bulls brought it up. Price came down and the bulls bought it up. Price came down and the bulls bought it up. Price came down today and it snapped right back up. Okay? So I'm seeing a lot of bullish signs. The only sign I'm missing is that breakout over 530. Okay? So if we see that tomorrow morning, and we may, because on the daily chart, you got almost a couple of inside day candles right here. All right, that means price is kind of winding up on the 1-hour chart. Okay, it's been winding up for the last 2 days, right through here to break out. Now, he said the VIX is popping. If the VIX is popping, there's a good chance we go down. All right. If the dollar's dropping, I think there's a good chance we go up. All right? But either way, this thing is wound up like a spring. It's going to pop in one direction or the other. All right? And I think because of the nature of the bull flag that it's in, it's more likely to go up. We'll see, again, until we break 530, all right? Got to break over 530, and then you got your answer. We're heading off to the races. We're going to 550. All right, let's go take a look at some other charts, all right? I got off my soapbox, okay? So you guys kind of got the idea what I see and what I'm looking at. So let's go through some more stuff, okay? Next one right up here, okay? 2-day anchored VWAP. Notice the price action. The 3 EMA, that's the yellow line, and the 8 EMA are moving up and away from the 2-day anchored VWAP. That's the pink line, okay? Next slide. All right, I like the 10-minute trend. Notice the 3 is up over the 8, all right? You see that? I like it when price is moving up and away like that, all right? Okay, notice the price is being supported by volume-weighted average price. Every time it comes down, buyers buy it up. Comes down, buyers buy it up. Comes down, and buyers buy it up. This is the anchored VWAP. This is the daily VWAP. Starts out brand new every single day. Okay, notice that. Again, All right, so now here is another slide. All right, this is AMD. All right, now I got some AMD calls. Now I got some AMD calls because I see right here, this is the all-time high anchored VWAP, and price is getting on top of that. William D, I don't really follow. William asked, imagine if I was trading NVIDIA instead of SPY, do I have any consideration of oversold or being out of the Bollinger Band? I don't really trade the Bollinger Bands. I'm more of a 10-minute trend chain trader. I like the 10-minute trend, like you saw back there, where price is on top of the 3 and the 3 is on top of the 8. And they're just running away from VWAP. That's my flagship trade. All right. When I see green erase red, that's my flagship trade. All right. Yeah. Malcolm says he's neutral on the market near term until it breaks above or tests Thursday's high of day or the low of day. Likewise, we got a couple of inside days. He's basically saying the same thing I was observing earlier, is that we're looking for that breakout from the highs or the lows right there. Price has wound up. It's almost 2 inside days, right? Yeah, and then the split's going to happen. So Bob mentions to William D that there's a split is imminent in NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's also taken off. All right, so I have AMD. All right, which is another maker of graphics cards, getting some sympathy, all right, from NVIDIA's rocket ride to the upside, all right? And you can see now price action is getting up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, which is bullish for me. All right, now you can see where price moves up to the all-time high anchored VWAP and is sent back down to the recent low anchored VWAP. See how price reacts between the two of them. Up to the high, down to the low. All right? If it fails to make a lower low, guess what? They're probably going to come back up and test the high. All right? So there's AMD. And if not, make a higher high. All right, there'll be pressure on the bulls to make the higher high. No guarantee they'll do it, but you can see here's the price action moving up to the all-time high anchored VWAP, sent back down to the low, the recent low anchored VWAP. All right, you can see they just touch and then they touch, and then that causes a reaction. Now we're going to go back up because we failed to make a lower low. We're going to go test the highs again. All right, it's like clockwork right there. Okay, so there's AMD. Let me go to the next one. Next one, FNGU. All right. All right. So here's FNGU. Here is the low anchored VWAP. Price comes up, gets down underneath it, and you can see buyers step in and push it back up over the low anchored VWAP. Okay. Makes a new high. See the high here? Makes a higher high. Pulls back. Touches the VWAP again. And then what happens? You get the V bottom bounce, making a higher high. Then we consolidate. All right. See the consolidation? All right. And after enough consolidation, we break out to make new highs right here. See that? All right. And then we place another anchored VWAP right there on the low before the breakout. Okay, on the low before the breakout. Then price comes back, kind of gets close to it, but not close enough. And then you've got the all-time high. Well, actually, it's a 2-year high because FNGU is not near the all-time high, but that is a 2-year high for FNGU. All right, and you can see after making that, it comes all the way back down to the consolidation breakout, anchored VWAP right there, tags it, and you get a V-bottom bounce again. A V-bottom bounce here, a V-bottom bounce there, another V-bottom bounce here. Market is bullish, all right? We just need one more sign. We need to get up over 530. Okay, that's what we need. One more sign. Another thing, IYT is actually sitting on the uptrend line. So we may get a bounce tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Okay, so here it is. Price comes back to the consolidation low right here. Anchored VWAP and V-bottom bounce right up off of it. All right, I'm going to go to the next one because I'm talking about clockwork. All right, this is IWM. All right, price goes up, fails to make a higher high. Notice the last high is over here. Fails to make the higher high, comes back, hits the anchored, the low anchored VWAP. You get a V-bottom bounce, makes the higher high. Comes back to the low anchored VWAP. You get a V-bottom bounce again, makes the higher high. You see what's going on? And it goes up. All right. Now we're consolidating between the low, the higher low anchored VWAP right here. All right. And the recent high anchored VWAP. So we're consolidating between the two. Notice it comes down, hits this one. It comes back up and hits the high one. Okay. All right. Here's the next one. Here's IYT. All right. Here's the all-time high. Well, the most recent high for IYT. I think that was the all-time high. And you can see price, every time it got up, it got sent packing. Got sent packing down. And price comes up into it, and it got sent packing down again. All right. And you can see here it comes down into, here's the recent low, anchored VWAP, and is sent back up to test the highs to see if it can finally make a higher high and break out of the downtrend, but it failed. Okay, then we make a lower low, all right, which inspires the bears to sell some more. So we're still underneath. See that low anchored VWAP? Price is underneath it. Not a good sign, but we are sitting near the uptrend line. That's on IYT. Let me go to the next one. Okay, this is PAAS. I bought some of this today based on, this is the all-time high. This pink line is the all-time high anchored VWAP. You can see price action is running up, and away from the all-time high anchored VWAP right there. That's a bullish sign for me. It's in a 2-hour uptrend. And if we look at PAAS, let me see if I can find my chart. Come on. No, let me see over here. All right, let's look at PAAS. Okay, you see right here, PAAS. All right, price, the 3 and the 8. You got a bullish stack on the 2-hour chart. On the 10-minute, you see the 10-minute? Price, the 3 and the 8, all running up and away from the all-time high anchored VWAP. There's the 10-minute uptrend inside the 2-hour uptrend. All right? See the red candle right here, Gordon? Right there. Here's the red candle. Okay? That green candle that takes it out, that's my entry. Here's another green candle, takes out a red candle. I can enter on that one. Okay? Now you get bearish engulfing. I'm out. Okay? On the 10-minute chart. I'm out till we start to get bullish again. All right? So when we come up over All this red stuff right here, right there, I can enter. But it's past 2:30, I'll pass. All right? All right, right there. It's past 2:30, so for me, it's a pass. So I just held my option because we're bullish, because we ended the day at the high of the day. That's a bullish sign to me. Okay? We ended the day at the high of the day. All right, so let me take this out of the way. Go back to my charts. All right. Where was I? That's SPY. No, I got too far ahead. There's pass right there. All right, the next one is Rivian. Okay? When Rivian gets over this anchored VWAP right here, let's just pull up the chart so you can see it. All right? Because this is pretty good. I want you guys to get this one if you get the opportunity to play it. Okay? Rivian's not ready yet. Okay? But it's almost there. All right? There it is. Okay? Okay, here's the anchored low VWAP. Okay? See, we've been down to the well 3 times and we couldn't make a lower low. That's a bullish sign. All right? Here's the anchored high, the most recent anchored high VWAP right here. Okay? So if we clear this consolidation right here at 1073, all right, you look for that 10-minute uptrend, green erases red, all right, that's a playable event for me. All right, green erases red over 1075, 1073. Okay, that's a playable event for me. Okay, Rivian's getting bullish, see? Getting higher lows and higher highs, higher lows and higher highs. Notice, got a higher low right here, okay? So it's coming into its season right now. All right, so let's take a look at, I think a SPY was the last one. All right, and where did I anchor a VWAP? See right here? This is the FOMC. I put an anchored VWAP on the low prior to the FOMC announcement right there. Okay? And ever since, as long as price stays up over this magenta line right there, okay? As long as price stays up over it, I'm looking for 10-minute uptrends as long as they're over this magenta line right there. Okay? 10-minute uptrends over the magenta line. Okay? Right now, we're stuck in consolidation. I think we get a nice breakout tomorrow. I expect it to be to the high side because this is bullish consolidation, but anything can happen. Like Trader X said, the VIX is popping, so it could go to the downside just as well. If you look at my Andrews pitchfork, okay, we've gone from one side. We still haven't hit the other side yet. We came close yesterday. We may come down, hit the other side tomorrow, and then rip. We'll see what happens. But that's my Andrews pitchfork right there. All right, so if you guys like what you hear tonight, all right, I'm in the room every day, all right, and I give you these notes. Green erases red entries over the 528.9 pivot. All right, I give you the notes, the same notes that I trade every day. All right, feel free to pick up a trial. They're only $24.50. All right, so I want to thank everyone for being here. What platform is this? This is TC2000. Hey, CJ, thank you. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Malcolm. Thanks, William D. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Gordon. Julie, Ron, Carrie, Sue. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I was really hoping to see some new blood. I see a lot more people in here. If there's some new blood, please speak up. Give me I'm here. All right. Thanks, Ron. All right. Thanks, Gilbert. Thanks, Raj. Everybody. Johnny. Appreciate it. You guys are so kind. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so this is recorded. All right. So in case y'all want to see it, it's going to be on my YouTube. I'm going to give it to Ed. He's going to put it in the resources for you. All right. And again, feel free to be part of my, subscribe to my YouTube channel and be a part of my Facebook group. Thanks, Don. Thanks, Centauri. All right, everybody, have a beautiful evening. Thank you, Ed, for helping me out. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right, have a good night. I'll see everybody 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, where I will create a new video for Digital Land and people of BYOB.